Hello. Okay. Oshikatsu Pod. Sorry, I keep getting the name wrong. The Oshikatsu Pod. So we're watching Chaser Game W Season 2, Episode 5. There's only 3 more episodes after this. Compared to Episode 4, this episode is a lot better. It's clearer and more cohesive, I feel. So I just finished watching the scene where. So at the end of episode 4, they met each other on some random street. They kiss, blah blah. I love you. Yeah, okay. And then they're back in what is it? Fuyu's hotel room. Bro, she's staying here for a long time. Um, and so they're in bed and they're having a heart to heart and they're talking about what happened if Fuyu got permission from her mom. Itsuki thought that she was accepting of it, but Fuyu just kind of says like, never mind, don't let's not talk about her. And then she kind of starts grilling Itsuki because she was like, "Where were you last night?" And then we find out that it's Fuyu's worst nightmare, which is she was with Yorum, and Fuyu keeps asking her, "Well, did you guys stay in the same room?" Well, they stayed in the same bed. She like Itsuki didn't say that. So then Fuyu was kind of disgusted because I guess who wouldn't be? But then that's because she doesn't know like if something happened or not. She as in Itsuki doesn't know if yeah anything happened between her and Yoroma. So then she's like, Fuyu's like, I want to be alone. So she kicks her out. And then we see Itsuki in the hallway, and then her mother, not her mother, sorry, someone calls her. Okay, so the next scene, we see Fuyu trying to send a message, but she doesn't. And it says, like, I'm sorry. But why does she have to be sorry, right? Yeah. So she says, I'm sorry. But she doesn't send it because someone's at the door. And then that someone is Yorum. Yorum's at the door. And she drops a bomb on Fuyu. She's like, hey, she's trying to pretty much blackmail Fuyu and says like if like it wouldn't be a good idea for like her like this news of her being a lesbian, if that leaks out, that it wouldn't be good for her dad, who's trying to be some kind of councilman. But then she doesn't know that Fuyu's already cut ties, and so she doesn't care. So she rips up this research that Yorum had, and then Yorum drops another bomb. She's like, I'm going to propose to Itsuki. And then I was like, what? So same reaction as Fuyu. She was like, what the heck are you talking about? Yeah, she shows her ring. And then Fuyu tells her, or Fuyu says that she's ready to like commit her life to Itsuki as well. So now they're like on even ground. So Yuruma is like, let's battle. So then we see like a bunch of like little shot cups, and then she starts pouring a bunch of soju into these cups, and this is pretty much another parallel from season 1, where like there was like 2 scenes where alcohol was related, so it's pretty much the same thing. They kind of have this like this battle of drinking. I don't know why they keep reusing these scenes, but whatever. Okay, it's kind of funny. It's funny to see. So they kind of like take a drink. It's like kind of truth or dare, I guess. They each take a shot, and then, well, they profess like why they love Itsuki, and then they take a shot. So they keep going back and forth. But then Fuyu is like keeping her ground. She can handle her alcohol. And of course, Yoruma. So I think Koreans, they drink a lot. So soju is like nothing for them. Then Itsuki sends a message to Yurum, and she says that she's like sorry for not messaging, and she's at the hospital. But okay, she shows the message to Fuyu, and they start running. Do you even know which hospital she's at? It's kind of weird. Like, how will you know? I guess maybe because it's a small town. Wouldn't you go to a hospital close by? But then she said Jika, which is like her hometown. And then I don't know if Fuyu knows where her hometown is. Maybe she does, I don't know. But then how does she know which hospital it's at, right? So, okay. I know I'm like digressing here. Let's watch some more. Okay. So they rush to the hospital, and then we have that kind of awkward scene between all 4 of them. The grandma, Itsuki, Fuyu, and Yorumu. So Itsuki's grandmother hasn't seen Yorumu for a long time, probably since she left, which is like in high school. So it's been 12 years. But she instantly recognizes her, and you know, they talk a little bit, and I guess Yorumu taught her some Korean, so she knows a little bit of Korean. Call her Haimonim. And you can tell they have a good relationship, and they like pan out and show Fuyu, and she's like she's kind of like what about me, like, because the grandma's like, oh, you've gotten so pretty and blah blah blah, and then Fuyu feels a bit left out. It's a cute scene. And then Itsuki is like, but why are you 2 together? The 2 of them, like Fuyu and Yorumu, why are they together? And then Yorumu's like, well, some things happened, so. And then the grandma walks them out of the hospital and tells Itsuki to show them around Shizuoka. They're in Ito City. So I think they made some they, as in the production company, maybe spoke to the city to maybe for some tourism related promos or something, because I remember the official Twitter account was showcasing pictures of Chaser Game W, and like, oh look, here's like this place in Shizuoka, you should come visit, blah blah blah. So that's something new compared to season 1. So they're a little bit more more coordination to help with tourism. What else? So they take a bike ride, and then because Yoroma wants to visit the high school again, and so they go to the high school, and you can tell that Yoroma feels like a third wheel. So, and she can see that, you know, Itsuki really enjoys Fuyu's company. They're very close. And at some point, Itsuki falls into the pool, and then she drags Fuyu into the pool. And at that one point, Yoroma, she's like, okay, Itsuki is happy, and she sees that she's happy. So, and maybe to the point where she's never seen her like that happy with her. I don't even think they were even in a relationship to begin with. But yeah, Yoruma gives up. Okay, let's go to the next scene. So I just had lunch and I had a michelada. If you don't know what that is, that's a beer with some seasoning. It's a Mexican beer, and it's very good. So I'm a little bit drunk right now. But okay, I finished watching the rest of Chaser Game Debut Season 2, Episode 5. This is like probably my 4th time watching it because I have to sub it. Okay, so they fall in the pool, and then they're back at the house, the grandma's house. There's a short scene with Itsuki and Yoruma, and Yoruma tells Itsuki that she gives up. And Itsuki's like, what? But she has one thing to tell her, which is like, you should tell your grandma about it. And Itsuki knows she should, so this is the time to do so. And we pull back, and then we see Fuyu sitting in the corner. So she hears all of this, so she knows that it's coming. Then we have this scene where they're all eating Korean food. I can't say it in Korean. It's something so I forget what it's called. But you grill the meat. You put like kimchi and other banjans inside the lettuce wrap, and you eat it like that. There's also like some sauce on the side. And it seems that Fuyu's never had it before, so Itsuki makes her a wrap and gives it to her. And then comes the scene where it's the coming out scene. So Itsuki finally has a chance. So the grandma sets it up for her. And at first she asks, like, Yoruma, like, does she have anyone? Like, does she has a partner or something? She says no, like, I was dumped. And then she slyly looks over at Itsuki, And then the grandma's like, oh, this person must not have any like taste. And then Yorum like hugs the grandma and says like, oh, thank you. And they look at Itsuki, and then the grandma asks Itsuki like, when are you getting married? Because they're like almost approaching 30, so the clock is ticking. So Gaga Ulala, or as I like to call him, Gaga Baba, a big account on Twitter like shared this clip, the coming out clip, and the subs were like horrendous. The timing was all messed up. The words were left out, and the translation just, it just didn't do the scene justice. So I'm glad that I was able to like translate this myself, and hopefully, hopefully it kind of conveys how Itsuki feels. I mean, I myself, I'm a part of the LGBTQ community as well, and I've had to deal with this, so I know how important it is, and like it's such a critical time, and it's like a moment that you'll never forget. It's like once in a lifetime thing where you get to confess, or just come out to whoever your family is. So I felt that Gaga Baba didn't know, even though they claim that this is like their niche market. Those translations for it were so bad, and I don't know why people like tolerate it. You guys are paying for this, so I complain, right? Like, make them accountable. It just doesn't do the scene justice at all. Okay, anyways, that's my one complaint. So she finally comes out to the grandma, and it's emotional. She tells her like she loves Fuyu, and the grandma's like confused at first, but she finally gets it. But the grandma is positive and says like, that doesn't, I don't care like what you are or who you are, like you're still like my grandchild, right? That nothing changes that. And then Yoruma leaves. So the grandma, I guess, approves of it. In the middle of the night, Yoruma like leaves. She tries to not tell them. She feels weird. She feels awkward being there. So she tries to sneak out. But we get a scene with Fuyu and Yorum. And this goes back to what I said previously, where I knew that Itsuki didn't sleep with Yorum, and she was just pretending. Yorum was just pretending or leading her on about this fact. So about storytelling, you try to mislead the viewer, the reader. So I knew they were trying to mislead us with this. If you study any kind of storytelling, you'll learn about this. You don't want to reveal too much until later on. It builds excitement, and it makes the viewer, the reader, like guess, and it keeps them engaged. So she leaves, and Yorum pretty much confirms that nothing happened. Fuyu was just saying Fuyu all day, all night long. And she says a line to Fuyu like, oh, like bye friend. She says this term, beppu, which is like a slang term for best friend. And then so they have this little moment together, and then Fuyu comes back to the house and she sees that Itsuki is awake. So they're like, okay, what should we do today? They're they're trying to spend as much time together, so they're taking advantage. And they write down like where they want to go tomorrow, which is that day actually. And they both write down like the Daigaku, which is the university that they went to. So the upcoming scenes, I'm not sure. It's like we have 3 episodes left. I'm not sure what else is going to happen, but we haven't seen Robucho yet. So I think she's gonna come into the picture. So don't forget, like the Fuyu's mom is gonna be pissed off. So she's gonna wreak havoc. We still have 3 episodes left. But I think the next steps, it seems like Itsuki will ask for the 3 of them to live together. I don't know where that puts Cole, but he seems okay with it. But we do see a scene with Cole and Fuyu. And Fuyu is just so grateful to Cole for allowing, this to happen. He is actually the one that it's all thanks to him. That's why we get a 2nd season here. We can thank him and Fuyu's mom. If Fuyu's mom wasn't such a bitch, then we wouldn't be here. But yeah, it's thanks to those 2 that we have a 2nd season. And also Yorumu. Yeah, so she helped with the kind of bringing them together as well. So this episode was very touching. It was not as disjointed as the last episode. The last episode was very rushed and had no consistency. So tell me what you guys think. So I'll see you guys in the next podcast. Bye.